Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, also published on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support. Any kind of news and the such usually go about on Twitter X. I missed a couple of days here. I got this last couple of days a lot of meetings. I was outside of home, so that's why I didn't manage to do anything of importance here on the channel. But it's bound to happen from time to time. Even though my intention is to continue the schedule as always been, which is one episode per day. I'm trying to rest the full weekend now, Saturday and Sunday. See if I can manage in the near future to reserve, I don't know, Saturdays for a possible weekly stream or something like that. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how I can manage that. Other than that, I think everything is on par. Tomorrow I will do a Midnight Suns episode, trying to maintain around 3 episodes per week. I missed yesterday, so I will do it for tomorrow there. But yeah, got a lot of stuff to catch up. This episode might be a little bit longer than I intended to be, but yeah, let's go. So a lot of stuff coming out from Intel regarding Battlemage GPUs, at least the discrete part there. I think Intel did manage to tease out some videos with Tom Peterson, if not mistaken, the Intel fellow that is being on the Intel side regarding the Intel Arc program, let's say. But I think they are focused on the APU stuff there, so the integrated iGPU stuff there. But I covered that there was a listing on the B5080, sorry, and it seems that we got some updates regarding that leaked post listing, sorry. And it seems that the special or the limited edition of this GPU might over around $250 or so, which it seems, if it is what it seems in terms of the specs leaked, it seems a pretty good deal. Now, it only depends of how it really performs, especially comparatively to the current generation, so you have a better idea how, in terms of price to performance, it behaves, this GPU. But it seems to be on the line of the lower end, even though the A580 it's hovering around 100 and something. Where is it? $170 again. This is a very weak GPU, very like entry level. Even the best that they have from Alchemist, the A7 770, the 16 gigabytes, still doesn't even perform at a level of a 4060. So it struggles to perform at that level. At least that's my perception. Don't take my word for it. But yeah, hopefully this will be an uplift in performance, and given the price, I don't know, at least performing hopefully to the level of a 4060 Ti, give or take. It will be good at this price. Again, afterwards we will have the 50 or the 5000 series from NVIDIA, then again RDNA 4, which are the 8000 series. Again, depends on how it performs regarding those lineups. But yeah, if I think if they manage to, I don't know, around 4060 Ti kind of performance at this price point, I think it might be good, given the fact that the 4060 is very expensive still, and especially the 4060 Ti, and even I think in terms of that performance, I think the 7 from AMD, the 7700 XT, they over around 300 plus dollars in terms of that price. But yeah, if it maintains like this, give or take, I think it might be a good option for entry level gaming, like 1080p medium settings, between 30 and 60 FPS. If it managed to hover around that kind of performance, I think they might be able to sell some GPUs. Again, it all comes about the price to performance regarding the what it is on the market, because you are not competing with something other than what is already on the market, basically. But yeah, let's see how this will develop. If it is a good launch, hopefully so, we will have more competition on the GPU market to trying to put some pressure here. Hopefully, at least on the entry level, which is like the majority of gamers. And if they manage to creep up in being competitive also on the, I don't know, the medium tier in terms of on the terms of GPUs, I think it might be good. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see more information, especially official information. I think in the upcoming weeks they will Intel will tease more stuff regarding Battlemage. It seems they started off teasing up, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Then on games, we got Mass Effect Trilogy director Casey Hudson. He formed a new studio a while ago. He was working on a multi-platform AAA game focused on character-driven narrative in all a new science fiction universe. Again, I think he was trying to create kind of a Mass Effect kind of competitor, let's say, or similar IP, but they had to shut down the studio. Um, Regarding this, I think that the Mass Effect trilogy, when it came out, it had this issue, but it was kind of revolutionary, especially the first two, in terms of how it played the game systems, and my only issue was in terms of choices. To a certain extent, didn't matter too much, or at least they weren't very consequential. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was revolutionary, especially on the second one. I think it was an improvement, and I don't know if it was because of EA interference. The third one was not that good. I'm not sure. Also, the fact that they opened the studio in Canada again, a lot of Canadian studios that are open there, they seem to be infected with the with some things that I don't know. I don't know if it is the Sweet Baby Inks of the world. But yeah, it had to shut down. Didn't manage to secure more funding from investors to conclude this game. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's see if it. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. If he managed to, I don't know, arrange other ways of getting a game made. But yeah, I quite enjoyed at the time Mass Effect, even though Mass Effect 3 was a little bit of a letdown. Continue with again the ongoing drama with Ubisoft. This older stuff regarding the Steam concurrent player counts. There seems to be a concerted effort of certain publishers, specifically Ubisoft, and I think also EA. And I think this is one of the reasons they avoid publishing games on Steam, because of some, not some, but more transparency that exists on Steam, especially on player counts. There is more data available, and they cannot hide behind that data from viewers and, of course, investors, which I think it is the most important for them regarding this case. Because again, we all know Star Wars Outlaws will got a disaster debut on Steam, around to 2,500 players maxed out. It was about a half of what I predicted. I predicted, okay, maybe probably because of the discount and probably because of the content and the patches they already did on the game, they might see a kind of a number hovering around 5,000 players during the launch weekend. But again, only managed to reach half. And again, this doesn't bode well, especially for investors, because anyone can type SteamDB and check the data there. Yeah, and of course, Ubisoft doesn't like, because they cannot cover the shit show that they are going through at this moment in time, and we still didn't reach February, which supposedly it's the launch of Assassin's Creed Shadow. So, yeah, uh, they cannot twist the numbers, especially from Steam and the sales there. They cannot twist those numbers to massage those numbers to the investment goals, and yeah, this is not going to end well, because they cannot see, oh, it did it did underperform a little bit from what it predict, but it's trending well. You cannot give this kind of excuses to investors when they can see that it's going down on the roller coaster to hell, in terms of numbers. But yeah, um, yeah. Again, they want to be able to present findings to investors so they can make it sound good, the same way that got Sony imposing the PSN linking on their own games when they are published on Steam. Again, it's try to massage numbers to make it look good that they have a lot of PSN accounts, even though at the end, with the money, they cannot. Again, you cannot fake numbers to the point of, if there is no revenue, you can sing all you want, you can change about the numbers, but again, at the end, the investors want to see how much profit they are making for them. But yeah. Uh, and as you can see, around 2,500 players maxed out on. I think this is Sunday, if not mistaken. Then this was Monday, and it's being on a roller coaster to hell there in terms of numberings there. Yeah, and of course, it launched with already 25% off on Steam, which is gives even more credence that this game is not going to sell what it needs to make the money up, at least in the first year of launch. Again, usually the majority of the sales are achieved in the first quarter, or at least the bulk of the sales of a game usually are achieved in the first quarter, depending then on when it launches. Might have the first 6 months. You might give it that kind of time frame, but yeah. And then it can ramp up a little bit again, word of mouth. If the game is really good and people are talking about it, for sure it might trend up in a certain way, or at least maintain a steady number of sales throughout the quarters, if the game is really really that good. But yeah, and the fact that they launched at 25% off, and they didn't manage to get around and reach for the budget an acceptable player count. Again, if it launched at the time at the same time on Steam and everywhere else, they could have managed to get around better numbers to justify, I don't know, something for the investors. But yeah, with a few months afterwards, after all the backlash came out from this game, and then trying to remedy that or try to recoup some sales on Steam, yeah, it didn't work out very well for them. But yeah, this is it from Ubisoft at this moment in time, and I don't think it will improve, and we will have to wait while we at with this little drama here. We'll have to wait to see how it goes for Assassin's Creed Shadow. With again, I don't think it's going to be that good. In the other news, supposedly Elon Musk is going to launch a gaming company, at least AI based. Again, I saw the tweet. It doesn't seem to have a lot of details. The tweet itself is: too many game studios are owned by massive corporation. XAI is going to start an AI game studio to make games great again. Again, this comes about some things that I will cover regarding Avowed and the current situation there of that studio is going to implode, and the exchanges that Elon is being having with people around that platform. I think it also comes with the D&D stuff there. Again, I'm not knowledgeable, so I don't cover that because I'm not aware of the story behind it. I think there was the co-creators of D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. I think I don't know what happened there, but people didn't like it, and I think they tried to erase the story behind how it was created, and trying to remove them out of the history pages there from D&D, from D&D. And a lot of people are, I think, are going to boycott that. Again, as I said, I never played D&D. I know what it is, but I don't know enough to cover that in in more details. But yeah, and I think this tweet that Elon made was after the Dogecoin maker of Dogecoin said I don't understand how game developers and game journalism got so ideologically captured. Gamers have always been trolls, anti-greedy and has been trolls, anti-greedy corporations, anti-BS. Gamers have always rejected the manipulative BS, and they can tell when someone is an outsider poser. While leaning to the BS, best games I've played over 10 years have all been indie games besides Skyrim and Fallout 4. I love indie games. Again, the response from Elon is because of this. Again, it has to do also around the fact that there has been so much sloppy games coming out, and yeah, people are getting a little bit fed up, and they are basically identifying as non-binary in the sense they are not going to buy those games because first and foremost, I think that a lot of them are a slop product. They You cannot even justify wasting time playing it even for free, much more than paying for playing a game there. These companies, I think they tend to forget that what they call the gamers are the customers of the product they are selling, and I will be hammering that home every time I speak about this. It's like any kind of product. You have to cater to the audience or the customer base that exists. You cannot create or it's basically impossible unless it's something that it doesn't exist in a market that doesn't exist. You have to cater your product to the customer base or the majority of the customer base that already exists. You cannot create out of nowhere a customer base in a market that is already been existing for some time now. You can try, but again, as you've been seeing, all of this has been failing spectacularly since he came out, and people are now are more vigilant. They are not. I think the pre-orders are going to, in a certain extent, have less pre-orders. People will not will be more vigilant on the product itself. In this case, games. They will start to see and try to follow up on creators that trust better. They will not follow that much the IGNs and the Kotakus of this world. They will try to follow more independent creators that they can put some trust in it. And then people, I think, will start to wait more after the game comes out, see some reviews, see if there is any kind of weird stuff happening in that game. I think people will eventually be more cautious before buying a product in this game again. Of course, it makes sense because you're spending your own money. They are not giving the games for free, and of course, the customers don't own anything to these studios. And as a reminder to every gamer, most of the studios that have some renowned um, name to it, a lot of the co-founders and the people that even on higher up positions, they are not there anymore to a certain extent. You got the example I will cover afterwards. You got the case of the CD Project Red. We got also from a lot of studios from EA, especially which studio. It's not from Avowed. Again, also from Avowed, a lot of them went away. We got also from the Mass Effect and also I completely forgot the other series that they are working on. Um, I think it recently came out a game, but yeah, yeah, a lot of the guys that the Ken Levines, all these guys that revolutionized to a certain extent the games, the gaming scene with new ideas, with experimentation. Usually they are not there. They already move out of the studio, and they formed their own little indie studios there, and they are continue to experiment in a certain way, and most of them are being successful in that sense. But yeah, basically that's it. Let's see if we got more details regarding this AI-based gaming company from Elon. Again, he's throwing a lot of stuff around. Let's see what it sticks. But yeah, basically at this moment, it's the information that we have here. We got also just a quick update here. We got Cyberpunk sold 30 million units, says CD Projekt Red. This is from the base game, and the Phantom Liberty sold 80 million copies in a year now. Uh, Again, this is a success case, but never forget that the launch of this game was a shit show. Many bugs and issues, especially on consoles. PlayStation at some point in time removed the game out of the store because it was in a complete disaster. They didn't start, and the refunds would issued, and then after a couple of months of working on it, then the Sony accepted the state of the game to a certain extent and let it be on sale again. But yeah, they did struggle for for a few months there, and I think only after the update 2.0 and the Phantom Liberty expansion that the game really shined and basically delivered to a certain extent the promise of what the game was supposed to be. But yeah, I think this is for the time being the best game that we'll ever see from CD Projekt Red. I don't think Witcher. I'm not confident on the Witcher 4. I'm not confident on the Witcher remake. I'm not confident on Cyberpunk 2. Yeah, I'm not very confident on that one. I think Cyberpunk was for the time being, the last good game that we have from CD Projekt Red, and we got here the continuation of CD Projekt Red. Yeah, mainly because The Witcher 4, I think it was the senior experience designer. Again, the response that he gave was not that good. We got some news recently that Witcher 4 basically it's on full scale production, so it's full steam ahead there. And there was this person that said that, like me, I'm not excited over it. And the Witcher series, one of my favorite game series, CD Projekt Red is too deeply into the DEI ESG bullshit, which is true. I covered some of those things from the annual menstrual leave awards and the scholarships that they have there that exclude people depending on how they identify themselves. But yeah, and then we got this guy, which is I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, which is the person, the senior experienced designer here, with these two emojis, which seem to indicate that "shut up, clown," something on those lines there. At least that's the interpretation that we can take out of it. And then the person that got replied. Basically said how wow, that's a very unprofessional view. I'm a customer. Again, it's the thing, they forget the people that are there are customers, so they are the ones that are injecting money on the company. But yeah, continuing, I'm a customer, and more than that, a fan of the Witcher series. Are you a senior experienced designer for CD Projekt Red? Are you sexist to telling a woman to shut up and calling her a clown? And then, of course, they try to scapegoating here, immediate allegations along with huh? Mio Mayos interpreting. Just wow. Again, I don't understand what is this here. And then, of course, he started off a chain reaction here. I mean, there aren't allegation at this point, and behavior like this post only proves we are correct from your perspective, and the companies, you should have just kept quiet. And then, of course, they just try to flee, pull up the parachute on the situation. I'm sorry, I'm not going to engage in this conversation further, no matter what I say. will be misinterpreted to prove whatever point you're like to prove. Assuming that everyone should immediately know one's gender on the web and make an attack based on that is simply wrong. Again, that was not the point. The point is basically shut up, clown. Um, which again, people again, it was two emojis. There was no context to to the emojis themselves, so people can interpret to a certain extent what they want. But yeah, this is not good. It's not starting good. I've again, it's good for them. They can speak on the interwebs because they show their true colors when it comes to this. Um, again, as a response of a prospective customer, I think you just stay quiet, or if you want to address the issue that this person has, you just try to be as sympathetic as possible. Doesn't that doesn't mean you need to lick the boots of the person, but you try to at least understand where they are coming from, so you can give some kind of decent reply with some context, except with two emojis. Again, these guys forget they are representing a company when even if their thoughts are their own, doesn't mean that the company doesn't or support the your own opinions, but might pass the sense that the company really does support your own opinions. Um, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, as a quick roundup, as I mentioned early in this video, again, lots of senior talent has already left CD Projekt Red. For example, the director of The Witcher 3 has long left the studio. They already create their own studio. I covered this. I've Rebel Wolves or something like that. I think it's called the new studio. And then apparently places like Warhorse Studios, the makers of Kingdom Deliverance and Kingdom Deliverance 2, that will come up soon. I'm not sure when. They're already actually poaching talent from CD Projekt in the past few years. This from Edemion. Um, uh, and again, there is a lot of problems that are playing in Ubisoft, like diversity hires, and CD Projekt Red as well. According to other sources, CD Projekt has begun to rely heavily on outsourcing to contracts to help them with their games, because the new talent that they have is nowhere near where they need to be right now. Again, and this comes in the aftermath of them turning their development to Unreal Engine 5 and dropping Red Engine, the in-house engine, again because they don't have qualified engineers or even supervisors to give any kind of formation to developers on that engine. Again, they are all left. That's why I think it's one of the main reasons that they just drop Red Engine. The engine itself is pretty good, especially on the Witcher 3. It can it supports way better the mod scene. It was upgraded in that sense to support better mods. That's why we see excellent integrated mods on the Witcher 3 there, and it's also a pretty good engine. It's still even the base game is pretty good visually, playing on vanilla on 4K, even though it's a 10-year game. But yeah, it's a shame that they left the in-house engine, because they don't have anybody that can support and maintain that engine there. And then, of course, more of the talent that left CD Projekt Red. I watched this video from Legacy Kelly, I don't know when, but yeah, basically the talent included studio head, executive producers, game directors, quest directors, cinematic directors, head of productions, principal engine programmer. That's why again, it's one of those positions that is very crucial when you have an in-house engine. Lead animators, creative directors, senior producers, engine directors, art directors. They all went out and did their own thing there. And of course, also here the diversity and inclusion stuff that they are completely in for. Yeah, but yeah, basically that's the overall take here. I don't. I think until the game is launched, we will see a lot of stuff that we are not going to like on The Witcher 4 here. Not putting a lot of faith here on the Witcher franchise at this moment in time. But yeah, you can see here it's they think we are a completely bunch of clowns as customers. I think they think they are owned the money where they are working for, and they forget they are not in the they again, this is the customers are not charity. If you want to n- Apple, nobody owns Apple the money of an iPhone or Samsung or whatever. Again, you want to deliver a product, you have to make for it. You have to make a product that is catering to the current customer base. Again, hammering that point home as much as I can. And then final here stretch here is for Avowed. A lot of stuff has been happening here. Try to cover the best I can. Avowed art director, this guy Matt Hansen, which is a completely lunatic, admits to wanting to make Elon Musk mad and hints game is ultra woke. Again, this comes after some of the previews of Avowed came out, some footage here, and all the previews they say they cannot show the character creator. Interestingly enough, being an RPG and everything, you don't with a character creator. Supposedly, you can check what kind of things that you can do about that. But yeah, I think mostly has to do a little bit on the pronoun game here. I think some characters identify with other stuff there in a fantasy game. Again, does it make any sense? But yeah, um, but yeah, to a certain level, I agree with Grumps in this one, which is rejecting any game that has pronouns in it. Again, because it's a tricky, it's a slippery slope when you between choosing genders and having pronouns are completely two different things. And of course, to a certain extent, and you grammar Nazis know what I mean. Stop being stupid again. Everybody knows, but supposedly nobody wants to talk about it, especially the people that make these games. And again, this is one of more Elon Musk's replies here. Having pronouns in a fantasy video game is utterly unacceptable. Again, I don't see a reason to have pronouns in a fantasy game. Um, but yeah, this guy, similarly, the art director of Avowed, did work on this game with the hopes of piss off Elon Musk. At least it seems that was the intention there. But yeah, I've got more things here regarding the. I need to cover better this part of the valve because there is a lot of stuff. It's in ongoing stuff here, and basically, I think this is one of the things that triggered Elon Musk doing the AI X AI game studio stuff there. But yeah, this is again. We got a reason why in the previews we didn't see anything regarding character creator, and even the previews they didn't even talk about it. They said they could talk about it, but they didn't say anything there, which is interesting by itself. But yeah, this is what I got from at this moment. It's a tease from what is being happening with Avowed. Again, the game will launch February, and I don't think it will sell well because, again, a lot of stuff is happening at this moment. I will try to cover tomorrow something like that a little bit better, see if I can pick up a better article to dive a little bit deeper here. But yeah, Avowed was kind of piqued my interest a little bit. Because it's from Obsidian, but I don't think even Obsidian is there anymore because at least the ones that matter because co-owner which Chris Avellone says that the company Obsidian should be sued for hiring discrimination, and this comes in line with the math stuff there. This is older from beginning of the year. Reminders backlashes out there. We are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice. My DMs are open and will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in the field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. Again, nothing is impeding him to pack up the bags and go to the woods, but whatever. But yeah, Chris Avalon was one of the co-founders of Obsidian Entertainment, suggested that the company should be sued for hiring discrimination after art director Matt Hudson revealed that he wanted to remove crusty old white dudes from the video game industry. This is an older one. I think it's more. This is the response here. He also posted in March to Blue Sky. Again, um, this is again Elon Musk. It should not be acceptable for any company in the gaming industry to be racist and sexist. Again, white dudes. Again, for an ideology that says they want to be inclusive. Again, excluding one color of people, let's say, in one gender. I think it's not inclusive there, but whatever. And then at the time, he doesn't even post on X. He pick up this from Elon Musk and he says, "Oh, Elon, you sweet summer child. This will only embolden me. You sad sack of shit." Again, it's what they know what to do. It's call names and put the phobes in the easts. But yeah, and Avellone, who was the co-owner of Obsidian from June 2003 to 2015, appeared to react this post from Hansen. Again, um, based on recent news, if you were rejected from any art position at Obsidian in the past few years, call a lawyer. Discrimination is in hiring. ESP for a Microsoft Studio can ensure you don't need to apply for a job ever again. And it shouldn't cost you a cent to initiate legal action. The lawyers will know what the case is worth and they will do the heavy lifting. And then he added, "This has nothing to do with my personal politics, but I believe strongly that hiring discrimination for any reason isn't something the industry should tolerate." I hope you agreed. Yes, I do agree with this statement, and so far I don't see any problems with that. And then somebody asked, "Does being rejected automatically make it discrimination?" Of course not. No, but based on recent events, there's a case to be made. Even if the rejection may have been valid, that validity needs to be examined by the courts because of the recent announcements, and Obsidian will need to show proof of the validity of the rejection. Again, because the art director itself, so he's a head of a department, if he gets any kind of job proposals from anybody, again, we don't know what kind of processes he might go into rejecting or not any kind of applications. But yeah, and again, he clarified in the meantime, just as a reminder, based on the events today, I don't work at Obsidian, I don't work on Avowed, and I have no idea what's going on. So it doesn't have supposedly any kind of insider information regarding what's happening there. And again, another person I honestly never would have thought you will call this out. And again, he responded, Chris Avellone, "I had an experience with BioWare producer who showcased the full extent of their hiring practices, and it's a story for another day, but definitely was a cause for a lawsuit." Again, you've been seeing this happening on EA, at Ubisoft. We've been seeing this creeping out for the for the last decade or so. But yeah, continuing, while Avellone recommended Obsidian be sued, Elon Musk also noted that Hansen was confessing to illegal behavior. He added, "Won't end well for him." Again, this comes with this thing here, and then Ian Miles Chung. It's not the first time that I see this name here. Avowed art director at Obsidian and Microsoft brags again because Obsidian is under the Microsoft umbrella now. Brags about being racist and sexist against white guys. It's in the company's unspoken career policy, which is partly in charge of, because again, he's a art director, so he's a head of a department on the company. He has power to leverage there. And yeah, basically, as I have to agree with them, Elon is confessing to illegal behavior, won't end well for him. Again, then on the article here, it goes about the court system regarding also it goes about the Gina Carano lawsuit by the fact that she was booted out of the Bebop boot Instagram post, I think. But yeah, it goes around here in other cases where there is some cases of on courts going on regarding unjustified firing without any proper reason, let's say, or any kind of legal reason there. But yeah, this is basically a little bit of the what's happening with Avowed and Obsidian Entertainment. They have, I think the last decent game that they have was Outer Worlds. I'm not sure when that game came out. It's a recent game, but yeah, I don't think Avowed is going to end up very well for them. Again, we have around 3 months until the game is launched, give or take, and it's already in the state of I don't know. It's not going well for them. I don't know what's going to happen to this guy. I don't think it. I'm not sure if they're going to shut up him from inside the studio for them. I think he. No, I don't. There is a lot of people that usually protected tweets. I'm not sure if this Matt guy already did that or not. But yeah, um, it's not going to. It's not looking good for the game. I think there is everybody has a pronoun in the game, and I'm not sure how that is going to go well for them. But yeah, at this moment, and I'm sorry about the long, drawn out episode here, but yeah, I don't think this is going to work out well for Obsidian Studios there. I'm not sure if this is going to be one of the other studios that are going to be shut down by Microsoft, given the after the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And then we got here to just wrap up the episode gaming deals. It started off today, autumn sale. Again, this is in conjunction for oh my god, for the Black Friday stuff that is coming out tomorrow. And we already have some nominees for the Steam Awards. But yeah, I will start off here with Dark Souls. It's 50% off the Dark Souls trilogy. So Dark Souls Remastered. We got Dark Souls 2, The Scholar of the First Sins, 50% off also. And then Dark Souls 3. Again, I recommend the deluxe edition, 50% off. I think it's an excellent deal here. As you can see, I already have at least 186 hours in the game, which tells you that I played a lot in this game, and it's a recommendation from me. Then you got also Control Ultimate Edition, 80% off. I really did enjoy the game. Um, uh, I played the game and I played again. I bought the Ultimate Edition. I played the expansions. I like the connections that they made with Alan Wake, and the Foundation expansion really tries to delve a little bit deeper on the lore and what this is on Control universe, let's say. But yeah, I really did enjoy this, and I do recommend, especially at this price point. 80% off, I think it's an excellent deal. The gameplay is pretty good. But yeah, I really do recommend this game. Then you got Wasteland 2. This is the Director's Cut, 75% off. Again, Director's Cut has everything there. And yeah, I think it has everything there. Then you got also Wasteland 3 Colorado Edition, 79% off. I already have this on my library, so I think it should be $10. Good price here. We got Alien Isolation, excellent game. I did manage to do a series on this one of the first games that I did, a gaming series here. You can check out the first episode to have an idea what it is, but it's still a pretty good game. The graphics hold up, the gameplay is still holds up, and yeah, it's a 10-year-old game that it's worthwhile the price of admission here. Then you got also Wolfenstein. This on Steam is the alternative history collection. Again, I do recommend all of them except Youngblood. I don't think it's that strong here, and it's got mixed reviews overall from the community here. Then we got also XCOM 2 collection. Again, buy all of it from XCOM 2. It will work with the mods there. Even Steam Workshop works very well in terms of introducing the mods there. Again, I'm going through a lot of the games that I have on my library, so I don't forget on this Steam autumn sale here. But yeah, I do recommend XCOM 2, of course, still to this day. Then we got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now I can recommend very well this price point here, 90% off, $4. Even though it's a little bit buggy here and there, at least from what I remember. I can recommend at this price point, especially that the game is not that long. Um, uh, but yeah, I can recommend at this price point. The story there is pretty serviceable. I really did enjoy a little bit the story of these two games here, and the other one, of course, is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's a better price point at 75% off. You don't need the deluxe edition. The base game is more than good enough. Again, it is basically the continuation of the story. There is a plot twist here, like mid game, that I was uh, guessing at the time that I was doing my series here. But yeah, it is improved a lot, even though it has some technical issues here and there. But it's not something that is game breaking. I covered that on my gaming series also when I did it. But yeah, 75% off. I can recommend at this price point, given that it's relatively a recent game. A lot of improvements from the first one. But yeah, I do recommend this game. And then finally, we got the Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy. Sorry, that's a mouthful. It's around 85% off, and I think it's around $10. The free games with all the DLC. So and I think this is a pretty good trilogy of games. Yeah, the upcoming games, I'm not sure about that, but at least this is a very solid trilogy there. And again, it's pretty cheap, and it's hovering around 85%, $10 or so for this content here. But yeah, don't forget to vote for your Steam Awards also. And yeah, basically that is it for today. I'm sorry I missed out this couple of days and this episode's a little bit longer than expected. But yeah, I'll wrap up here with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. The extra support at this moment in time is more for me to get in line and have a better storage solution so I can have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra storage for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have an awful day. I will see you in the next one. So until then, I'm Master out.